she's good. Tried 4 or 5 times. I said, oh, stop. Oh, no. My arm was swollen up. I said, stop.
Enough is enough.
On a phlebotomist, try out.
Oh,
You need to stick to catheters.
I do something, leaving me alone.
Yeah. Not for-
Gosh. Beat all up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call the December 15th meeting of the Columbia County Planning Commission to order. Stand with us. Commissioner Skinner will lead us in our invocation, and Commissioner Noel will lead us in the pledge.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings you've given us, Father, that you promised to take care of your children. Father, you follow your promise and have done. Father, we ask that you be with us during this meeting. Say and do will benefit the county and will be a blessing to you. Blessing upon this meeting.
Flag.
Thank you. Be seated. If I could remind everyone to please silence their cell phones. Would like to take a moment to welcome Commissioner Skinner back.
Thank you.
He had a little minor medical procedure done at the Medical College of Georgia Cancer Center, and we're glad to see him back, and it seems like he's on the mend, and we look forward to big and great things from you in the future.
Thank you.
We do have a quorum here this evening with 4 commissioners present. Commissioner Gallius is out of town on business. Gentlemen, if you don't have any amendments to the minutes of the previous meeting from December 1, I'd appreciate a motion. If you can't make the motion, I'd appreciate you indicating what change needs to be made in the minutes.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion to approve the previous minutes carries 4-0. Gentlemen, do we have any amendments to the agenda? If not, I'd like a motion for approval.
Chair, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve the agenda carries 4-0. We have no presentations tonight, however, would like to read a statement in for the record. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to clarify that the Planning Commission is a recommending body to the Columbia County Board of Commissioners. The decisions made on rezoning and variance requests tonight will be forwarded to the Commissioners for their final action on January 3rd, 2017 in these chambers at 6 p.m. If you wish to address the Board of Commissioners at their next meeting, see Ms. Liz over here on the side, and you can obtain a request to speak for them. I think everybody here tonight has been in front before, so I will not go through how we do public hearings here. And with that being said, we'll move on down into new business. We have a conceptual plan for Somerset 8. Ms. Bolte, I believe that's yours.
Yes, sir. This is a conceptual plan for Section 8 of Somerset subdivision. It's located off of Hardy McManus Road. The portion of the property that's to be developed is located at the rear of the neighborhood. You can see it here outlined in red. This is an aerial of the property. It is currently mostly wooded. The concept plan calls for 18 lots on just over 10 acres to be accessed by an extension of Thornberry Ridge. The lots are laid out around 2 cul-de-sacs. There are no buffers required for this development. However, it will be required street trees and sidewalks under the new grading ordinance. And a typical street section showing how the street trees and the sidewalks will be laid out has been submitted. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, this is not a public hearing. Gentlemen, could I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the conceptual plan for Somerset 8, tax map 5, parcel 1347.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. Have no preliminary plats. We do have a final plat, Willow Oak Village Phase 5. Ms. Mystery.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the final plat for Willow Oak Village Phase 5. It's located off Hamilton Road. It's 69 lots on 21.77 acres. The zoning is R2, RCO, single-family residential with residential cluster overlay. The minimum lot size is 6,600 square feet, an average of 94.64. Setbacks are a minimum of 40 feet at the front and then 5 along the side and rear. Sidewalks are required on both sides of the street, and 4.23 acres of open space are provided in this section. This is developer has requested to bond this project, which will go forward to the BOC on the December 20th meeting, and staff recommends approval.
Okay, this is not a public hearing. Gentlemen, I'd like a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Willow Oak, the final plat for Willow Oak Village 5.
Do we hear a second?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. We do have 4 public hearings tonight, 2 rezonings and 2 variances. The first is filed RZ 161202. Ms. Bolte, I believe that's yours.
Yes, sir. This is a request for rezoning from S1 Special to RA Residential Agriculture at 1218 Miles Road. Property is located off of Miles Road towards the western edge of the county. You can see County Line Road in McDuffie County there on the left-hand side of the screen. The property was zoned S1 in 1995 for a group personal care home. Surrounding properties are zoned residential agriculture. On the aerial, you can see the previous structure that was on the property and used for that personal care home. You get here on the street view as well. That structure has since been demolished. The applicants are preparing to build their own house on this property and are requesting to rezone it back to that residential agriculture designation for that purpose. This property is located in the rural character area on the future land use plan, and the requested zoning is appropriate for this area, and staff recommends approval.
This is a public hearing. Is the applicant here this evening? Okay. Is there anyone here that'd like to speak either for or against this particular rezoning? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the rezoning for file RZ 16-12-02 from S1 to RA.
Your second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. Mr. Butler, I believe you have the next 3, file RZ 161203.
Mr. Chair, this is a request for rezoning for tax map 078, parcel ID 058E. It's located off Tanner Court. Currently zoned C1 neighborhood commercial, and the request is to rezone to CC community commercial. The property is located in the northwest corner of the intersection of Evans Locks and Furious Ferry Road. Again, it's currently zoned C1. You can see there's a little section that's kind of taken out here. That's a former right-of-way. It's just kind of a GIS error. It's not an issue with the right-of-way. And also, this is an aerial view of the site. Again, you can see where Tanner Court kind of dead ends into it. Street view of the site, again, intersection of Furious Ferry and Evans Locks. Here's land use map. This is Evans Locks Activity Center, which the land use itself, the reason that he's going through or is asking for a rezone is that the use itself is permitted. However, there's a drive-through that we'll see in a minute that in CC or in C1 is not permitted. So that's kind of why we're going through this. In terms of the uses, the use fits within this area, and the existing uses that are zoned C1, for instance, the CVS, the gas station, the bank, and also the PUD that are there. If we were to have those coming for us today, they'd all have to be CC as well. So they all fit. And again, most of that's because of the having drive-throughs and also having the gas island on the convenience store. So again, it does fit within the future land use map. This shows a concept plan for the development. Again, Tanner Court right now kind of goes and dead ends approximately here. They would reconfigure Tanner Court to be here. And also there's an access provided back to the fire station. But again, the concept plan is just provided as a FYI. It's not really part of the application itself. And also with the variance we'll be seeing in a minute, we'll kind of go back to it. This is where the drive-through window is. Again, staff has recommended approval with condition. There are some uses in CC that are not really desired for this property. For instance, hotel, motel, outdoor recreation, convenience store, gas station, or gas pumps, vehicle rental, ice vending machines, outdoor display, etc. Again, some of those, it's a 1.1 acre parcel, so they might self-regulate not being able to do that. However, we prefer to have this list of uses that are not permitted. We're more familiar with, more comfortable with that. Again, staff has recommended approval with condition.
Any questions of staff? Okay, is the applicant here this evening? Yes, sir. Is there anything you'd like to give us in addition to what Mr. Butler has given us? Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions? The applicant? Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to speak either for or against this particular rezoning? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve file RZ 1612-03, C1 to with the conditions as outlined by staff.
Discussion? All in favor? Motion to approve carries 4-0. Mr. Butler, file VA 161204.
Oh, sir, this is the, the companion variance to this application. Variance is section 9-147, use provisions, prevent a drive-through window and lane, face public street. Again, the same location, kind of go through that quickly. Again, currently zoned C1, aerial view of the site, and also street view. I mean, in terms of the variance request, one of our new ordinances do have some stipulations for NPOS, no protection overlay districts, and also Evanstown Center, where you can't have an entire drive-through cannot face the street. Essentially, is what it boils down to. This property has 3 streets, both Ferris Ferry, Evans Locks, and Tanner Court. So there is some issue with having to basically flip this whole design to be able to accomplish, or to accomplish that would probably cause some issues with Furious Ferry Road. If you were to flip it, vehicles would probably end up backing out or end up stacking out into Furious Ferry. So because of that, they requested the variance, and staff is comfortable with the variance itself. However, there is going to be a kind of an upgraded buffer in this area here. We've already met with the applicant to kind of go over what we're looking for there. We do have a condition with our requested condition. The licensed landscape architect will prepare the landscape plan and also meet with staff prior to submitting the plan. Again, part of that's because with it being within the no protection overlay district, the high level of design required, we feel more comfortable with having that requirement. So we can then have a good product for the end of it. Again, staff recommends approval of condition.
All right, gentlemen, any questions to staff? Okay, sir. Anything additional you'd like to give us? Okay, all right. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to speak either for or against this particular variance? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve with conditions file VA 1614 variance to permit a drive-through on front of the building. Drive-through lane to be between public street.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Approved carries 4-0. All right, our last public hearing of the evening, Mr. Butler, file VA 161203.
Mr. Chair, this is our request, 417 Lewiston Road. I currently zoned C2 General Commercial. Again, a variance to section 9-147 use provisions for permit a drive-through lane and order box within 50 feet of a residential use. Again, this property was rezoned, I believe it was back in October, for Dunkin' Donuts. And this shows, again, the zoning of the property. Again, the property to the north is zoned R1, so that's where it falls into, if we're within 50 feet of the residential use, the drive-through lane can't be within 50 feet of that use. So we have the aerial view of the site. Again, hasn't been developed or anything. They're still in the planning stages on that. And also a street view of the site. Again, still showing the existing residential house on the property. It shows a concept plan with the design that y'all saw back in September or October, whenever it came through, actually was flipped, where this was not facing, or this is the kind of front of the building, was facing towards the residential side. And with that, they had their drive-throughs on the opposite side from where it is now. So when they changed it to more integrate with the development to the south, that's where they came into too close to the residential property to the north here. They're approximately 43 feet from the lane itself, this area, to this portion, so they fall within that 50 feet, so hence the variance. We're comfortable with the variance itself. We are requesting an upgrade to the fence that's proposed. That would be an 8-foot high wooden fence, and also to do a little higher level of buffering here. There's a 30-foot structural buffer in between these two properties. And also with the application, y'all have it in your packets, there was some documentation provided from the applicant that kind of discusses the actual speaker system that they're going to use. We've commented on that, but again, we're not really going to use that in the decision from our perspective because we're not sound engineers, but it's provided for your benefit. So the staff does recommend approval of condition, and the condition is the required structural buffers should be increased to 8 feet in height, incorporate canopy trees and shrubs. And also, again, we have a licensed landscape architect is required to prepare the plan. That includes staff recommendation.
Gentlemen, any questions of staff? This is a public hearing. Is there anything you'd like to add to staff's comments? Okay, all right. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak either for or against this particular variance? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, and gentlemen, I'd like a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the variance for file VA 1612-03 with conditions.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? To approve carries 4-0. We have no additional items, no legal matters. Staff and commissioner comments. We do have a minor waiver. Mr. Butler, MW 161201.
Mr. Chair, this is a request for a minor waiver at 4147 Bald Eagle Place, property zone PUD. The request was to reduce the rear setback from 20 feet to 18 feet, which was within the 10% acceptable. This is the location of the property. One thing that's interesting is the only pool in the whole development. I'll be a reason for that. And again, currently it's zoned PUD. And this shows the site plan. Again, this is 20-foot rear setback is here, and they've encroached into that by 1.94 feet, again, within the 10% threshold that we have. And we approved this, I believe it was December 8th, last week.
Awesome. Mr. Strickland, would it be appropriate at this time, do you want to handle the buffer issue we discussed earlier today? Or is that something we should mention in the open?
The dead tree.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Patel, real quick, Mr. Cox pointed out earlier, there's a dead tree at your Washington Road store.
It's a crepe myrtle.
Crepe myrtle.
It's missing.
Dead or is it missing?
No, it's gone.
Gone.
Gone. There's nothing there.
Well, I'll circle back
There's
with
a
you after.
circle where a tree used to be.
Yeah, Washington Road.
Right directly across from the drive-through.
I'll grab you afterwards. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir, it is. Cool, I appreciate it. With that being said, any other commissioner comments or staff comments? Any public comments? I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Appreciate what you all do for us through the course of the year. Appreciate you all coming out, supporting the county and investing in the county. And anything that you see that we can do to help you guys more, please feel free to talk to us. And again, we're here to serve as best we can. With that being said, Merry Christmas to everybody, and I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Motion to adjourn carries 3-0. 3-1. I want to stay. Meeting adjourned at 6:18.
He's a Grinch.
Next meeting, January 5th, 2017 at 6 p.m. in these chambers. Thank you for coming out.
We can
One that one.
ride now.
I thought you were you
I just told her I am through.